Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 1, titled The End is the Beginning. And this was the Season 6 premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. Very excited about this episode. This actually is like the first Fear the Walking Dead episode we've had in over a year. I was like, it doesn't feel that long, but I was looking at the season 5 finale, and I looked at the date, and it said September of 2019. So it's been like over a year that we hadn't had a new Fear the Walking Dead episode. But we're back, new Fear the Walking Dead episodes, new season, and I gotta say, I absolutely love this premiere. This was such a great episode. One of the best episodes I've seen in a while. One of the best premieres I've seen in a while for the show. Before I get into it, though, I will give a spoiler warning because we are going to be getting into the details, so definitely check it out and let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And if you have seen it already, you guys also let me know in the comments down below. What did you think about the episode? We have a lot of Walking Dead videos coming out throughout the week, and since we're back in Walking Dead season. Also, there was New York Comic Con this past weekend, so we have some stuff to cover on there. I'm trying to get everything out as fast as I can. So if you are a fan of the show, be sure to subscribe for more reviews and breakdowns of Fear the Walking Dead and The World Beyond, as they're going to be airing back to back on Sunday nights now, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, as far as this video, we're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead season 6 premiere, so let's get into it. So yeah, I thought this episode was awesome. I really liked it. I'm not going to get my hopes up too high. I'm going to try not to do that because premieres are usually good, but I think this one was exceptional actually, because I think it was one of the best premieres in a while. But not only that, the reason why I do have some hopes for this season is because this episode was a solid example of, I think, what they were going for when they said they're gonna have like an anthology type season. Because if you look at this episode, it is such a great story with a beginning, middle, and end, and everything just sort of worked out. Like, it wasn't nothing less. I mean, there was that moment at the end where it kind of sets up the future, but the point is, yeah, this episode definitely stands on its own very, very well. Like, I feel like if you even show this to somebody who doesn't watch Fear the Walking Dead, I feel like they'll enjoy this, even if they don't know the characters, because it was a great episode on its own. So that's why I'm pretty excited for the future, because I think if this is their plan, and they want to do an anthology type thing, and they have more episodes like this, it could definitely lead to a very, very good season. So I want to start off by talking about the villain. So I really did like this villain. I thought he was very terrifying. I love the opening minutes. It really set the tone for the character and who he was. And I thought he was a very scary person. Like, I thought they did a great job with that, because like even within the very first few minutes of him on screen, I was honestly scared for the characters. I was scared for Morgan and I was scared for Isaac, because again, he was just a very menacing character, and the dog was also pretty scary. So I think they nailed it with this character. I also think the actor did a really good job in selling that part, because again, whenever he was on screen, there was a lot of fear there as well with him. So more on him later, but I want to talk a little bit about the other new character, Isaac. I believe that was his name, the character that was helping out Morgan. I really did like Isaac. I thought he was a really interesting character as well. He kind of reminded me of Dwight in a way, because remember he said that he and his wife ran away from Virginia. It kind of reminded me of how Dwight and his wife Sherry, they ran away from Negan. And I've talked about this in the past, that Negan and Virginia kind of remind me of each other in the way they do stuff and their ideologies in the zombie apocalypse, of how they want to live a good life, and they make other people do their work for them, and then they have people working for them, and then they also go out and get other people in their communities and just strangers to do their work for them, because they want to rule that area. Definitely reminds me of each other, like the Saviors, and then Virginia's group as well. So that parallel kind of stuck out at me, but I did like this character a lot. I thought he was very friendly and likable, and I should have known that something was probably going to happen to him. The Walking Dead always does this, that whenever there's a character that's not going to be on screen for a long time, they make us like that character, and make that character friendly and stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting something like this to happen. But again, in context of the story, it makes sense, because this is going to be, like they said, like an anthology series. So I that's what I mean. Like if you actually look at the episode, it has like a pretty, complete story with all these characters. Even the villain, who we'll talk about again in a little bit, we saw him die as well. Also, I gotta say, Lenny James, really good performance as always. I think he's a really good actor, but this episode, especially, I thought he was really, really good. And the scene, I wrote this down, the scene that they were killing walkers. I think the score in this episode was great. It had like a Western theme to it, which obviously fit the episode, but the scene when they were killing the walkers, that was a pretty epic scene. The score on top of that, really cool scene. So just like little stuff like that, I thought made this episode really good. And then I already talked about Isaac being bit. I kind of noticed it a little bit when he was holding his side. Like I saw him holding his side, and I was like, wait, what happened? I didn't see him get bit. So I rewinded it, and I don't really think we see him get bit, and then it got revealed later on. So it was a bit suspicious, but again, I was suspicious, but I still was hoping that he would have survived, because I did like it. Kind of reminded me of Eastman if you think about this episode, and ironically, Morgan was also involved with Eastman. So that Eastman episode is sort of like you could say like that would fit in like an anthology series, right? So that's why that was kind of interesting as well. And in that final fight, that was also really awesome. It was like the pinnacle of the episode. And that's what I mean when I say, like, if you watch this episode on its own and you don't even know anything about Fear the Walking Dead, I feel like you'll enjoy this episode, because on paper, it's just about a guy coming after someone else. It's like a cat and mouse chase or something like that, and it ends with a final fight. It's pretty cool. I mean, it goes. I mean, the episode obviously is only 50 minutes, so it's not like a movie or anything like that. But the point is, like, I think the episode stands on its own. When Morgan was on the ground and he blocked, I don't even know what the hell that guy's weapon was. That was pretty insane. But when Morgan blocked him with a stick, I mean, again, the score was terrific. Just moments like that, it's. I think that's what's been missing on Fear the Walking Dead, and if the rest of the season is like this, it's gonna be pretty exciting, I think. I will say though, it was a shame that the villain died. I wasn't expecting that. I thought he would have lasted longer. I kind of hoped he lasted longer. I did like him. I was talking about this earlier. I thought the villain was a great villain. Definitely one of the best like characters that we've only seen in one episode, right? Like there are a number of characters that we've only seen for like one episode. And this is definitely one of those best. I think even in both shows, if you look at it, I mean, we have The World Beyond too, but I think this is one of the best like one episode characters that we've had. And then naming the baby after Morgan, I thought that was really sweet as well. Even though they just met, I liked it. It makes sense. It made sense, because he saw the tapes and Morgan helped him. But again, though, it was sad that he ended up getting bit. I wish he didn't. I guess my only critique would probably be like, I did think the end was a bit rushed. Like after the fight, Isaac's wife gave birth, and then like pretty much he just left, and then after that Morgan wakes up and the guy is buried, and there's like another, like I just wish there was another scene there in between, right? Like maybe a goodbye between Isaac and his wife. I think I would have liked that. For me, that end just moved a little bit too quickly, but that's really my main complaint with this episode, my main and only complaint. And then let's talk about that ending for a second. That was pretty cool, right? When Morgan put that guy's head in the box that said Morgan's name. Yeah, really cool scene. I mean, that was like basically Morgan's thing, like telling Virginia that he's coming after her and this means war. And I love that scene, that shot when like Virginia turns around and then she hears Morgan's voice in the radio, and she like pauses and like she's looking at the camera in absolute shock. That was a pretty cool scene. I like that one. And then at the end there, when you said that Morgan, or like you're dealing with somebody else now, I did like that, but I will say I do hope Morgan returns to his normal self. I will say that, I'm just interested and curious to see what they're gonna do with him in the long run, right? Because I don't think I don't know like what they're gonna do. It's confusing because because their show is expanding and there's spin-offs and stuff like that. I don't know if they'd want to kill Morgan, right? It's confusing, but the point I'm mentioning is like I don't know, where is Morgan gonna go back to him being his normal self after this arc? It's sort of confusing, especially with the main show ending now. So we'll see where it goes from here. But that's what I will say, that I do hope that, you know, I guess it's right now it's okay in the moment and what they're dealing with and what they're doing, and he wants to get revenge on Virginia, but I hope eventually he does end up going back to his normal self. And in that ending, now that was really interesting. We saw that these two guys spray painted on a submarine, of all things, literally a submarine that, you know, dried up on the ocean, or like on the beach, that said, "The end is the beginning." What is that supposed to mean? And who are these people? They were talking about the key, that character from the beginning, whose name was Walter, I think. And then the villain, he wanted the key from Walter, if I am correct, right? Because he was looking at the key. So I think that maybe these guys, I don't know what that key is. Like, why would you need a key right now in the zombie apocalypse? I don't know what those guys wanted with that one guy who had the key. Or I don't even know what that key is for. But you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think about that, because that is definitely an interesting setup. And I think we'll talk more about it, you know, in a separate video. Because, I mean, again, it might not be easy to tell what it is because of them saying this season is going to be like an anthology, so we might just have to wait and see. But really interesting setup, that's for sure, especially with that submarine. Like, where did that come from? Well, I know where it came from, but like, is it just like been there for all this time, or is it something significant? Because the way it was shot, they kind of like zoomed out, and then we saw a submarine, like they were like trying to tell us, like, guys, look, this submarine is a big deal, right? So you guys let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about that? As far as this video goes, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a great premiere, one of my favorite premieres, and one of my favorite episodes of this show in general. I mean, at least, like, you know, as of late. So again, you guys let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about it? I am gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and again, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to subscribe, as we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.